It's approximately 5:20. We apologize for our tardiness here. Item E, reconvene open session. Item F, announcement of actions taken in closed session. At this time, there is nothing to report out from closed session. We'll go to item G. This is public hearing. Item G1, public hearing regarding the school bond waiver request by the Calexico Unified School District. This time it's approximately 6:20 p.m. and we will open up this public hearing. Are there any comments? Seeing no comments, we will close this public hearing regarding the school bond waiver request by the Calexico Unified School District, approximately 6:21. Moving on to item H, this would be comments from the public. The board will take any and all comments from the public related to an item on the agenda or any other item on the district business that is not on the agenda. Ms. Burgos? Other than L19, no others? L19, we're okay if we wait till that item? Thank you. We'll move on to item I. This would be our presentations. And we'll begin with item I1, our highest attendance for month 6, Maines Elementary School. Mr. Gonzalez?
Oh, and I see they're all here. So a big old congratulations to Maines Elementary School. Percentage 96.13. Let's give them another big round of applause. Well, and if we can have Maines Elementary School please come up. All Maines Elementary School all the way to the front, over here to the front. And we also have Blanche Charles Elementary School. They were the highest with the attendance last year. And I know we have Miss Hurtado around here as she makes her way coming up. Because yes, there is a trophy. Yes, you do need the trophy. The trophy is a symbol, a sign of reaching that highest attendance. And here comes the trophy. Ms. Hurtado, I know you didn't want to give up the trophy, but let's give it up. And again, congratulations to Maines Elementary School. We take a lot of pride in our attendance for our students. And so when it comes to all of our schools, they do an excellent job. So we're very glad to congratulate Maines Elementary School. So let's give them another big round of applause.
At this time, we'll move on to item I2, student representatives. We'll begin with Aurora Destiny. Oh, go ahead, please.
Find the email. So, good afternoon or good evening once again. Destiny Ruiz couldn't be here today, and being that I am the ASB advisor, I will be here in her representation. I'm trying to find her email. I'll give you guys a little heads up of what we did last month or this month in March. We had Spirit Week last week. And so we had Monday, the March 11th was workout day where everybody got to wear their yoga pants, so they all loved it. Tuesday we had Disney Pixar Day. Wednesday we had Superhero Villain Day. Thursday we had a contest Adidas versus Nike Day. And Friday was Wear Green in honor of St. Patrick's Day. And do I go ahead and present the student of the month, or you're gonna do that? No? Okay, so that's it for now.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on with Calexico High School. Gabriel Aguilera.
Good evening, board members, officials, parents, and fellow students. Carrying on from the previous meeting, Calexico High School clubs took the initiative to market and make profit for Valentine's Day festivities. In particular, Calexico High's robotics team competed at IVC and is currently in the LA area, showcasing our best and brightest in the field of STEM. In the first week of March, FFA participated at the Bin and Ritter Fair, resulting in 2 members placing first in showmanship and 1 claiming the title of Supreme Grand Champion. As for the senior class of 2019, The first ever FAFSA Fest was held in order to congratulate students taking the necessary steps to receive a higher education. And to end on a sweet note, Bulldogs wore crazy creative socks to showcase our support for Down Syndrome Awareness Day. And in doing so, celebrated our beloved Calexico native, Eddie Baez, as he paid us a visit and brightened up those he encountered. Thank you.
Good, thank you, Gabriel. Calexico High School 9th grade campus, Adrienne Campos.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adrian Campos. I am the freshman class president. So since we last met, we had an electives fair where the 9th grade campus went to the main campus, and we went where they showcased us electives that we can choose for next year and the following years. And then we are currently holding our Pennies for Patients, which started on March 4th and will end on March 27th. And so far, in a total of 2 weeks, we've collected $604.42. And currently, ASB is preparing for many events, such as our Spring Pep Rally, Bulldogs Got Talent, and the Brainy Ball. Thank you. Have a nice night.
Thank you, Adrienne. Enrique Camarena, Alondra Tesman.
Good evening. On March 2nd, we had our eighth graders visit UCSD for the Comienza con un Sueño event. The students completed the LPAC testing last week. The Firebirds started the Enrichment Academy. We are proud to announce that our student Luke Jang earned second place in the regional spelling bee competition. This week, we are kicking off our spring sports with football and girls basketball. And today we had our annual SBAC assembly to recognize all of the students who either met or exceeded standards in math and English SBACs.
Very good, thank you. From Willy Moreno, Mia Burgos.
Good evening, everyone. Today I will share the events we had for the month of March. We had our Spirit Week starting on March 4th. On March 4th, we had Dr. Seuss T-shirt or hat day. On March 11th, we had Favorite Band / Singer T-shirt day. On March 12th, we had Cartoon Character T-shirt day. On March 13th, we had Superhero T-shirt day. On March 14th, we had Jersey Day, and on March 15th, we wore green for St. Patrick's Day. Our math pie day competitions took place on March 14th, and there were 2 challenges. For our first competition, you had to remember the numbers of pi after the decimal, and our second competition was to write as many words that start with the letters P-I. The participants received small pies. Our winners were Charlena Nguyen and Omar Cosillo. We also had a parent picnic on March 15th, and students got to enjoy lunch with their parents. During our parent picnic, we had our lip sync battle. Students would choose a song and were able to lip sync and perform in the quad. We had a group of 3 sing Bohemian Rhapsody and actually had our ASB teacher, Ms. Yen, join in the lip syncing. We are currently selling yearbooks, and 8th graders can put their baby pictures in the yearbook for $1. That is all for this month. Thank you.
Thank you. Continue with Students of the Month recognition, I3, starting with Aurora. Aurora. Jessica Mojica?
Mojica.
Is Jessica here?
Yes, she's here.
And your parents? If you want to come up, please. With your or with your family.
Our first student of the month is Jessica Mojica. Jessica likes playing softball and going to practice. She would like to go to college and study medicine. Her favorite subject, history, yay, because she's my student. And she would like to thank her parents for supporting her and being there for her.
Thank you. How about Gerardo Amendares?
I don't see him. Oh, he's
And
here.
parents?
Okay. Congratulations, Jessica. Our second student of the month is Gerardo Armendariz. Gerardo's hobbies and are playing video games and watching TV. He would like to attend college when he graduates and study law enforcement. Again, his favorite subject is history, and he would like to thank his family and friends for supporting him and being there for him in all his decisions. Thank you.
Very good. Congratulations. Calexico High School. Is Arleth Escoto here? Arleth and family? Come on down.
Arleth Escoto has an overall GPA of 4.25 and a current of 4.67. She would like to thank her teachers, friends, and most importantly, family, as they have pushed her through thick and thin and even picked her up at her downfall. She's involved in an extensive amount of extracurricular activities, ranging from track and field, CSF secretary, math club, APYL, class treasurer, career path volunteer at ECRMC, and yearbook. She plans to attend a four-year university and afterwards go to medical school to become a medical examiner. Advice she would give to her younger self would be to stay organized, not to procrastinate, manage her time wisely, which is something that she's really hoping she can do in college.
Very good.
Congrats, Arleth.
Congratulations. How about Kevin? Kevin Ramos Perez and family?
Kevin Ramos has a current GPA of 4.25, overall of 4.25, and a current of 4.87. He would like to thank his parents who have supported him his entire life and those who have supported him along his pathway, consisting of his friends, as they have helped him achieve his goals. In terms of extracurricular activities, he is a vice president of the class of 2019 and a volunteer at ECRMC. He is representative of the Math Club and vice president of CSF, a community service club. Additionally, he has been in the volleyball team in Mexicali for the last 4 years. His plans after high school consisted of attending UCLA with a major in neuroscience and then to enter to medical school to specialize in neurosurgeon. The advice he would give to his younger self would be to not procrastinate, to do his work, to live in the moment, and to pursue his goals no matter what. Congratulations, Kevin.
Calexico 9th grade campus. Is Charlotte Mascareno here? Charlotte, come on down. The family?
Charlotte Mascareño is a Calexico High School 9th grade student. Her career goal is to become an engineer and plans on attending UCLA or any UC school. Her favorite subject is biology. 3 words that she would use to describe herself are determined, proud, and ambitious. She is most grateful for having a supportive family and friends, especially her sisters Greta and Aranza.
Great job. How about Jaden Torres and family?
Jaden Torres is a Calexico High School 9th grade student. His career goal is to become a marine biologist or a scientist. His favorite subject is science. He is unsure of what university he would like to attend, but he'd prefer to stay in the West Coast. 3 words he would use to describe himself are disciplined, positive, and focused. He is most grateful for the people that he surrounds himself with, his family and support groups who have guided him to be the young man he is now. He always thanks his parents for supporting him.
Enrique Camarena. Muriel San Pedro and family?
Muriel San Pedro is an 8th grade student. She is the son and daughter of Yahaira Garza and Manuel San Pedro. Her hobbies are dancing, reading, and watching TV, but her favorite hobby is dancing. Her favorite subject in school is math. When she graduates, she would like to go to a university and study. She would like to thank her parents and teachers because without them, she wouldn't be able to have good grades. Her parents are always there for her and supporting her and helping her for whatever she does. Her teachers teach her and help her throughout her classes.
Julian Villegas.
Julian Villegas is the son and daughter of the son of Marta Villegas and Victor Villegas. His hobbies are going to track, socializing, and hanging out with his friends. His favorite subject in school is language arts. When he graduates, he would like to go to university, preferable UCLA or UC Berkeley. He would like to study law. He would hope to become a lawyer in the future. And he would like to thank his parents and brothers because they are encouraging him to get good grades, and his brother inspires him to work hard and achieve a better future.
From Willie Moreno, Antonieta Sanchez. Okay.
William Moreno's 8th grade honoree is ASB student Antonieta Sanchez. Antonieta is the daughter of Jose and Alma Lorena Sanchez and she has one sibling, her younger brother Everardo. Antonieta's favorite classes are history and literature. She also likes spaghetti, the color teal, and all the latest song releases that she can hear on the radio. If she could visit the cities of Paris and London or one day own a Tesla or G-Wagon, Antonieta would be a very happy girl. Currently, one of the most important things to Antonieta is maintaining her 4.0. She wants to continue doing great at CHS by enrolling in AP classes and maintaining a GPA higher than 4.0. In the future, Antonieta would love to study at either UCLA or UCSD. She would like to become a psychologist or something related to that field. Antonieta is grateful to her family for always supporting her and vows to always keep making them proud. Way to go, Antonieta.
How about Jennifer Zen? Jennifer and family.
William Moreno's District Student of the Month is 7th grader Jennifer Zen. Jennifer is the daughter of Jin Ping and Jianzhu Zen, and she has one sibling, her brother Jacob. Jennifer's favorite classes are math with Mr. Gutierrez and literature with Mrs. Carrillo. Some of her other favorite things are Italian food, the colors black, white, and gold, and hip-hop music. Even though Jennifer is only a 7th grader, she has big dreams. She would love to attend UCLA and be a great lawyer or perhaps an actress. One day she would love to travel to Florida, Hawaii, and Paris. Maybe she could even do that with her mom, who Jennifer considers her role model. For now, Jennifer's goals are to maintain her good grades. As long as she ends up with a good paying job in the future, Jennifer will be happy. We hope your dreams come true, Jennifer.
Once again, congratulations to all our students this month. We'll ask that you, if you please, would just wait a few minutes. We've got 2 presentations, and then we do have cake and refreshments outside. We'll partake in that. I want to move quickly to I-4. This will be our staff presentations. Blanche Charles Elementary staff. Do we have someone from Blanche Charles?
And if I know we have Miss Hurtado, and she's making her way. And this is the time that we celebrate and recognize our staff. And so we are recognizing 2 staff members, one certificated, one classified from Blanche Charles Elementary School. And here's Miss Hurtado.
Good evening, everyone. Does it matter who I call first? Yeah? Okay. Let me call Ms. Wang up to, where's Ms. Wang? This year's certificated employee for Blanche Charles is Ms. Wang. She has been working at Blanche Charles for the last 3 years. She has done so much for our school community that if I start just saying them, I'm gonna be here all night. But these are a few things that we have accomplished at our school with her service. Student counseling, circle of friends, coffee with a counselor, parent trainings, home visits, career fairs, which we had a really awesome one this week. Our Dolphin Dollar Store, attendance activities, trips to universities and colleges. And these are a few words that I got from our students, which describe her. She's an angel in disguise for our school. Nice, helpful, understanding, caring, kind, awesome, big heart, patient, wonderful, happy, even to the point that once a second mom. So congratulations, Ms. Wang. Thank you for everything you do for our school. I'm spreading sparkles everywhere. Ms. Trejo? Okay, Ms. Trejo started working in our SPED department as an instructional aide a few years ago, I think like 2 years ago. And the reason I'm kind of vague is because she's been doing so many different positions that at this point, I think she's been working there longer than I have. She's an excellent instructional aide. Sometimes students look at her as a teacher. She works very well with our students. She's a person students will look for advice. Besides her work ethic, she is an excellent artist. She is very creative when it comes to organizing an event or doing any craft that we have to do for our school. She's the person to go to. She has great ideas, and whenever I have an idea for something, I just give her kind of clues, and it seems like I kind of tell her in her brain, and she'll take off with the idea, and it's like, that's exactly what I wanted. So she's very creative, and these are a few words from our staff and students that describe her. Helpful, creative, patient, caring, helpful, artistic, great cook. Thank you, Ms. Trejo, for everything you do. One last thing, at school they confuse us, they think that we're sisters. So
Congratulations once again, Blanche Charles Elementary staff. Let's move on to item I-5. This would be Enrique Camarena Junior High School, selected as a 2018-2019 Schools to Watch School.
Well, as we have our wonderful staff from Enrique Camarena come in, gives me great pleasure to congratulate the staff, parents, and students of Enrique Camarena Junior High School. They have been selected as the 2019 Schools to Watch by the California Department of Education. Now, just to give you some perspective, there were only 16 schools, schools that were selected as high-performing California middle schools across the state for this award. They joined 33 previously chosen schools with the Schools to Watch recognition, taking center stage. Enrique Camarena Junior High School was recognized at the state level by the California Department of Education on March 14th and 15th, and they will also be recognized at the national level by the U.S. Department of Education at the end of June of this year. The process for being selected is very rigorous, with a full day visit from the California Department of Education to the school site. They observe and evaluate the programs. CDE, I can tell you, because they told us personally, we're very impressed with the staff, with the school, and everything that has been done at Enrique Camarena Junior High School. And so it's an incredible award, and it's very well deserved. And congratulations again to the staff of Enrique Camarena Junior High School. The other thing, we do have a plaque, and this plaque says California Schools to Watch taking center stage 2019 Enrique Camarena Junior High School. We know that this is just the beginning, and so this plaque will be here at the board for all of us to see their wonderful work that they do, but also there will be this plaque, another one that will also be placed at the school site. So congratulations, Enrique Camarena Junior High School, and if I can have the board come and help congratulate them, please. Thank you. Let's give Enrique Camarena Junior High School another round of applause for their amazing work. Thank you.
Right, we'll continue. This would be um, naming Mr. Humberto Felix, named as our IV Imperial Valley Regional Occupation Program Distinguished Alumni. Is Mr. Felix here? See, come on in.
Mr. Felix, if you can come up, please. Mr. Humberto Felix Jr. has been selected by IVROP. Yes, please, big round of applause, please. He's been selected by IVROP as the 2019 Distinguished Alumni. The Distinguished Alumni recognition raises awareness about the importance of career and technical education for the students throughout the Imperial Valley. The selection committee makes their decision based on several criteria, which includes outstanding meritorious achievement and service to students and the community. The criteria includes being a former IVROP or CTE student and success in their chosen career field. We applaud Mr. Humberto Felix Jr. for his distinguished success in his career and life. Humberto Felix Jr. is an excellent graduate of IVROP and rose through the ranks in his 30-year career at the Calexico Fire Department. In addition, Mr. Felix contributes and supports the development of career and technical education by serving as a role model, and he currently is one of our teachers for fire science at Aurora High School in Calexico. So we congratulate Mr. Felix. Again, he will be honored at the Imperial Valley ROP Showcase and Recognition on April 9, 2019 at the Imperial Valley Expo Casa de Mañana. Congratulations again, Mr. Felix.
Thank you. Our next individual, also named as Imperial Valley Regional Occupation Program Community Partner of the Year, Hortensia Mendares.
And as Ms. Armendariz makes her way up, I do want to recognize we have Mr. Edwin Oberfeld, Superintendent of IVROP, and Mr. Juan Campos, Coordinator of IVROP. Thank you for being here. So Ms. Armendariz has been selected by IVROP as a 2019 Outstanding Business Partner. The success of Imperial Valley ROP is dependent upon the employers, businesses, agencies, and schools from the community that partners with them. These valuable partners serve as advisors contributing to IVROP and its students by offering input on industry demands, creating course curricula, serving as job site supervisors, hiring students and participants, developing new and emerging programs, or supporting the IVROP programs and efforts. Throughout the year, Imperial Valley IVROP works with numerous employers and partners, and this year they will recognize 12 exceptional partners and their representatives, and obviously Ms. Armendariz being one of them and doing an excellent job. The Outstanding Business Partner, congratulations again, Ms. Armendariz. Again, she will be honored at the Imperial Valley ROP Showcase and Recognition Ceremony on April 9th at the Imperial Valley Expo Casa de Mañana, and thank you again for everything you do.
Once again, we thank Enrique Camarena Junior High School and Mr. Felix, Ms. Armendariz for your recognitions. At this time, we will take a break so we can step out, enjoy cake and refreshments, and we'll reconvene in about 10 minutes. Okay? Thank you. Continue with item I-6, Aurora High School to present their 3-trimester plan for 2019-2020 school year.
Good evening, members of the board. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, my name is John Moreno, principal of Aurora High School, director of alternative ed. And I'm here to present a trimester system for our students at the continuation high school that will benefit their attainments of credits for the school year. We presented this to the district office several years ago, but we didn't get the green light, and I'm glad that you are considering moving in this direction. And we always look forward to improving on what we have. So quickly, I'll go through the system. Currently, we have a 2-semester system lasting 17 weeks and 21 weeks, respectively. It's off balance, but nonetheless, that is our semester system. And we're looking to propose a 3-term semester that'll approximately last 12 weeks, with the exception of the third semester with additional 2 weeks. So we're kind of trying to balance out for the state testing that happens in April. How does this change under the trimester format? Under the semester format, students are assigned 6 classes at 45 minutes each. The high school is 6 classes at 55 minutes. Under the trimester format, we look at 5 periods a day lasting 55 minutes. Pursuant to state law, the minimum requirement of hours for continuation high school is 3 hours a day, 15 hours a week, unlike the regular high school, which is 30. By adding 10 minutes to each period under the format, a semester-long course would gain an additional 30 hours of in-class. After looking at that, I know that there was a discrepancy. It's 15 hours of in-class instruction, but I'll get to that later. But still, it is more instructional time. The format for 2 terms is 180 days of school, 45 minutes, 100 minutes of instructional time. What we're looking at is more hours of instructional time. And I did the math, and 10 minutes would give us 30 hours extra. So our students would have more opportunity to engage in the lessons, work on projects, and we would be able to expound on our curriculum. What are the advantages for the term for the students? They are the flexibility of courses we offer in 1, 2, 3 term segments. Obviously, they right now take 12. They'll be able to take 15 courses. So that's 3 extra courses. The increase in instructional time that they can focus on the 4 C's, and that was big 4 years ago. We just left it in there because it's still relevant today's instruction. And then the ability to increase opportunities, which is the big one. If a student were to pass every class with a C or better, improve his GPA, in a semester system, they get 60 credits. And in a trimester, they'd get 75. And if they would go to summer school and get another 15 credits, they'd get 90 credits for 1 year and a semester, which is a year and a half of school. And that is ideal for students who would like to return to Calexico High School. And that is a goal that we have, is that we graduate them in 8 semesters or 4 years, or in this case, 12 trimesters. 22% increase of in-class instruction, credit recovery courses once they finish a class in recovery, which is a self-paced type of instructional program, as opposed to a direct teaching, which is a more traditional type of instruction that is at the regular high school. Students often take a particular course once or twice, and even 3 times before they pass it. The scheduling transfers right now from Calexico High School during this time are June, August, November, and March. If we go to the trimester, we'd have more opportunities to transfer students. So the transfer dates would allow students to transfer at different times. If a student is a senior in Calexico High School and is in denial, starting his last semester of senior year, oh, I can do it, Mom. I can get these grades up. I can get my credits. Well, it's already March and we don't see improvement. Then at that time, that student can come to Aurora High School and recover courses and be able, if they are willing, to graduate with their class, but at Aurora High School. And I understand that we have the same graduation requirements as Calexico High School, and Calexico High School will be presenting their plan for a 3-year math requirement, which would impact our students. But in talking to Ms. Williams, we shared that that wouldn't happen until the incoming freshman or the following year would have to go that. But we would look at a sequence for math as well to align ourselves with Calexico High School. And that's what we try to do. We try to align ourselves with many of the programs at Calexico High School. Our teachers work closely together during their summer curriculum hours development. But the main system here is to graduate them in 4 years so that they can continue studying or choose whatever path they would like to pursue. Daily instructional minutes, again, we have 45 minutes, 6 periods at 270, 55 minutes at 5 periods is 275. Again, I explained on the credits. In a semester system, you'd get 30 credits in each semester, and in this case, you'd get 25 times 3, hence 75 credits The trimester, I was only given 5 minutes, so that's why I'm hurrying up. The trimester instructional format, we haven't really delved into this, but we're looking at recovery classes, meaning that students can go in there, work at their own pace in the final semester, and really push it so they can graduate. But we will probably have some direct teaching classes in the third trimester, but more recovery course type of instruction. The academic school year right now, 17 and 21. Hopefully, the bargaining units and the administration look at kind of balancing out the start of the year, the end of the year. I know we're almost finished. We're finishing late in the middle of June, starting summer school later. So the reason is we start football in August, and so maybe move it back a bit. Anyway, so 2019, 2020, we'd look at something like this, where we'd have 12 weeks, and we allow 2 weeks in the trimester. The third trimester for state testing. That's our current bell schedule. Students are in class at 8:30, and they've got 6 periods, and they end at 2:25. So I'm not going to really delve deep into that, but 45 minutes each. There's a passing period of 5 minutes. We have a break of 10 minutes in the morning, a break in 10 minutes in the afternoon, and the students are released at 2:25. In the 5-period day, same starting time, same ending time. The lunch would fluctuate to an earlier time, and they would still get out at 2:25. And teacher prep time, teacher site time does not change. Everything is compliant with the union contract. So after looking at this and discussing this for several years, I think this is a way to go. This will be a new thing for our students, and a new thing for our parents, and a new thing, of course, for our teachers. So they might look at having extracurricular time in the summer to modify their curriculum, to allow for a 55-minute period. And that is my presentation. Do we have any questions? I know I went pretty fast, but if there's any questions that you may have.
Any questions from the board members? No. Not at this time. Okay. Mr. Moreno, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let's continue with item J. This will be our consent agenda. All items appearing will be acted upon by one motion without discussion unless any item is pulled for further separate consideration. Oh, sorry. For the high school. Get down. Sorry about that. Let's continue. Sorry. I-7, Calexico High School to present their 3-year math requirement for science, sequence, Navy, PE, credit plan. Sorry about that. Hmm.
Yes. Good evening, board members. My name is Gabby Williams. I'm principal at Calexico High School, and I'm here to give you some information, brief presentation on a couple of changes, some that are already taking place at Calexico High School unofficially, and some that we're hoping that we have your support. Thank you. We have your support as we work really hard to continue to establish a college culture at Calexico High School. As you can see from first informational slide, currently, and this is not different from any of our local sister high schools, we have our graduation requirement, which requires our students to take a 2 years of math, with one of them being Algebra 1. This is a state requirement, and this is the minimum that requirement for our students in terms of a math requirements or math courses. And I checked with our sister high schools in the Valley, and also had the opportunity to speak with the principals last week, high school principals. And although you'll see in the next couple of presentations, but although there still has a board policy officially the 2-year math requirement, just like us, they're encouraging, they're enforcing, they're enrolling students into 3 years and 4 years of math, which is what's already taking place at Calexico High School. And they also in discussion recommending to their own board and district a 3-year math requirement. Moving on, For science, it is a very similar graduation requirement. This is the minimum that the state requires. It's also board policy that our students take 2 years of science, one of them being a biological course, the other one being a physical science course. And here's just a quick overview of the requirements by CDE. Again, a 2-year requirement for math, and this is just, again, minimal high school graduation. However, you can see on the right columns, you see requirements for freshman admissions. It's a 3-year with the 4-year recommendation for math courses, and the state colleges are recommending a 3-year. And although it's not stated here, but we do know that when the students go through the college application process, I mean, colleges are hoping and looking at that 4-year math courses that our students are taking. And for science, again, very similar. Our students, we require that they take the 2 years in order to graduate from Calexico High School, and that's a state minimum requirement. For UC system, 3 years are recommended, and for state, 2 years, including 1 year biological, 1 year physical science. Students that are on the college track are really taking those 3 years of science. At Calexico High School, just wanted to give you some numbers in the last couple of years. This has been our slow, and I want to say unofficial transition to math, to expecting and communicating and encouraging all of our students to take 3 years of math. And as you can see the percentages here, we've gone from 66% of juniors. And why juniors? Why did I only mark juniors here? Is because that's after the second year, that's when students start communicating to counselors and to everyone, you know what, no, thank you, I'm not interested in that 3rd year of math. And that's why at the 11th grade, you would see a significant decline of students taking that 3rd year of math, especially if they're struggle. I mean, math doesn't come easy to many of us. And so after that 2nd year and meeting that minimum requirement, there were a lot of requests from students, from parents saying, I'm just going to opt out that 3rd year. However, during my tenure there, we've communicated to students and to parents that it's not an option, that they have to take math. We do get those one-on-one cases appealing. We've been very successful at meeting with many of those parents, and once we share that information and educate them about the UC requirement and state requirements, many of our students, 99% of those one-on-one conferences, they opt to stay in that math course. And as you can see currently, 96.9% of our 11th grade students are enrolled in a math class. Now the numbers are very different once they become seniors, and I can share those later on. I do have the data for, of course, every grade level, but this is the key year. This is the year that students say, no more. I'm not taking any more math classes. And as you can see, we have communicated to our students every single year and more, it's not an option. You have to enroll in that math class. It has been a challenge. It has been a struggle for the counseling team and for administrators and for teachers. Our math team as well. It has been an impact and a challenge, but nonetheless, we're getting there and we're communicating to students everyone can go to college. And we want everyone to go to college, and as educators, we're going to give you our best recommendation, and that's for you to enroll in a 3rd year of math class. And that's, so far, I think we've been successful, and we have seen many stories of students saying, you know what, I'm glad you made me, because I didn't think I was going to college in junior year, but now I'm a senior and I think I'm going to college. And so that has been many experiences and stories that we've heard from students. And I'm going to say as unofficially, because it's not board policy, it's not mandated, required, it's just been my direction for my staff and my counseling team that everybody goes into a 3rd year of math class. Moving on, for the last year or 2 years, the science teachers, the science department has been collaborating and getting ready to implement the new science standards. And within that work, led by Mr. Price, who's very knowledgeable of science requirements and courses, the science team has recommended a sequence for the incoming class of 9th graders, for the class of 2022, 2023, doing my math now, I think maybe class of 21, 22. But the incoming ninth grade class at Calexico High School, for them, we're recommending that every ninth grader enrolls in a biology class. And this would address the UC requirements, the state requirements, prepare our students to take the SBAC test. No, I'm sorry, not the SBAC, the CAST science exam, which is only offered once during their high school journey. And so as you can see, this is our proposed recommended sequence for science, that every ninth grader enrolls and takes a biology class, or those honors or advanced track students will have the option to enroll in an AP biology class. As a 10th grader, they would move on to chemistry or AP chemistry. As an 11th grader, they would move on to physics or AP physics. And we currently have AP Biology, AP Chemistry, and these are new courses. AP Chemistry is a new course this year, and we're working towards implementing and having AP Physics into our instructional program next year. And implementing a college and career culture at Calexico High School has been my goal, the goal of our team in the last 4 years at Calexico High School. And these are just a few changes that have taken place. We have increased the number of A through G and AP classes in the last 4 years. As I have shared with you and our staff obviously knows, is that we have administered the PSAT exam to all of our students. We started slow with just the ninth graders, then we moved on to 9 and 10, and now all of our students, 9, 10, 11, are given the PSAT exam. And I want to say to our team, kudos, because they did, for math teachers, English teachers, everyone has supported and communicated PSAT to students and learned what a PSAT score means and explain it to students, explain it to parents. And so the team at Calexico High School has done a great job with rolling out PSAT, which again supports, we're all going to college, here's your score, how are you ready, what can you do, and what do you need to do in order to get ready based on that score. Also informational for some of you that don't know, absolutely all of our seniors applied to IVC, and also unofficially again the requirement that all of our 11th grade students are enrolled in a math class, and this is to better prepare them for SBAC and of course to get them ready for those college requirements. Moving forward, what we're hoping to accomplish next school year is recommending change in board policy that supports the direction that we're moving towards to, and that is a 3-year expectation for everyone at Calexico High School, every student, and again incoming class of ninth graders, that they are expected to take 3 years of math and 3 years of science, which you saw the sequence. We want to prepare our students for SBAC and for the science exam. Next year, our goal is that now that we administer the PSAT for 9, 10, 11, we want to ensure that all of our seniors take the SAT, ACT exam, and I have been in communication with the college board, and I'm excited that I think this is very, very much a possibility for all of our students at Calexico High School to take that exam. And of course, we want to increase the number of 12th grade students applying to college. Hand in hand, I'm going to also share the good news with everyone that Calexico High School had the goal of 80% of our seniors applying to FAFSA. At this point, our numbers are still going up because the system is slow, but we surpassed that goal with, we're at 81%, although it's 1%, but we surpassed the goal. And we hope that next year, 90% of our seniors apply to FAFSA. And not only that, but we're identifying if you apply to FAFSA and we have 600 and change of our students, then where are we with our college applications? So there is a gap, and we're identifying and surveying our seniors. If you applied for financial aid, why didn't you submit a college application? And so we want to bring those numbers together, and they need to be aligned. If 640-something students applied for financial aid, then we want to see next year 640-something college applications. And this is to 4-year universities. Again, our students do apply to IVC, but that is our goal next year. And with all the work that everyone put in this year, counseling, teachers, our carpet team, I think this is very achievable, and I'm very excited that to look forward towards that goal. And finally, of course, this supports SBAC testing, which is with a 3-year requirement. Moving on to another exciting program at Calexico High School is our Navy Cadet program. a couple of facts about our program. Our Navy Cadet program is in a third year at Calexico High School. It is open to absolutely every single student. Our goal is to develop, the goal of the program is to develop leaders, responsible citizens, build self-esteem and discipline amongst many other skills. In California, there's 107 programs. I know nationwide there's a little bit over 600 programs. The students who participate in the program, as you can see for here, the 3 years, and this is our third year, we do have students that are going to finish their third year and move on to that fourth year of the program. As you can see here, they can enlist in the military and enter as an E3. Currently, these are our rankings, and last school year we were ranked 138 of 154 team entries, and these are programs that are evaluated by the Navy program. We do have VIP guest commanders and other military individuals that come from all the way from Florida to come and evaluate our program. And so this year I'm excited to share that. Look at all the numbers we went up, and so we're ranked 58 out of 177 entries. The students, of course, wear a uniform, and that has made such a positive impact in our student culture at school. There is an honor guard, and that has been in place since last year, and this is the first year that we have an air rifle team, and they're getting ready to compete, and we're looking forward to a lot more competitions next year. They're also held to academic standards. For 9th, 10th, and 11th graders, they must maintain the minimum of a 2.0. Seniors moving up must maintain a 3.0. In order to stay in the program. It is a very rigorous program. They have to address to school district standards, but also to, of course, the Navy standards. This year we had 23 cadets that participated in the ACT study program. And just a couple of things, we've been very active. The program has been very active in the community. They participated in parades. They've received second, third place. They have completed their first annual military inspection, passing review ceremony with the passing grade. They were very popular at Shop with the Cop, the color detail. Also requested to perform. This is a big event coming up next school year, the Vietnam Wall ceremony in the Imperial Valley, and they will be opening this program or this event. And also they have the color guard has, of course, performed for Congressman Vargas, ICOE several times, multiple schools in the district. Moving forward, in order to continue to sustain the program and ensure that it grows and that it continues to be successful and good for students, I want to clarify that we are a Navy cadet program. We are not NJROTC yet. In order for that to happen, an application was submitted to the Navy. Because of our ranking and our success, we're really close to being approved as an ROTC, which is now part of the College and Career Indicator. So that would be extremely great news for our students, for our school as well. Also, our students are participating in drill team, academic, and air rifle competitions, and that's going to increase more next year. We are pursuing that our courses are A through G. And the Navy is very supportive in helping our Navy instructors accomplish that. And I feel confident that next year we will start with 1 or 2 of these courses as A through G. Also, the Navy has offered personally, Commander Alfonso from the Navy base has been in my office speaking to our counselors and myself regarding the scholarships that are available, and they're amazing for students. And we hope that next year, being the 4th year, and we'll see these seniors that they have access to these scholarships. And finally, one of the requirements to become an ROTC program is that our Navy cadet, once it becomes, or before it becomes an ROTC program, that our current program, that our students receive PE credit. In order to accomplish that, our 2 Navy instructors have traveled and visited high schools in Southern California and San Diego, LA region that already are offering PE credit. How did they do it? How does the lesson plan look like? How do we ensure that they address the PE minutes required by the state? So we've done our homework. They've done a lot of curricular planning, and we hope that we have your support soon, that when we propose that this course not only counts as an elective, but also counts as a PE requirement, and that would really help the program in its transition to an ROTC. That is all I have. If you have any questions for me.
Good, thank you, Ms. Williams. Any
Okay.
questions from the board? No, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll continue with item J, consent agenda. All items appearing on will be acted upon in one motion without discussion unless any item is pulled for separate consideration and action. Board?
I so moved and approved.
Motion by Mr. Calderon Jr., second by Mr. Alvarado. Any further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. We'll move on to item K, informational items. Beginning with K1, Superintendent's Report.
Good evening, trustees. Good evening, community. Just want to start off by mentioning and giving kudos to our migrant debate team. So our migrant debate team did a great job in competing in the migrant speech and debate tournament, which was held on Saturday, March 9th at Southwest High School. We actually have one of our coaches here, Ms. Carrillo Grijalva, who's in the audience. You can give her a round of applause. Overall, our Calexico High School debate team won second place. Our junior high school debate team placed third. One of our students, Brianna Castillo, placed second in the sixth grade exemplaneously speech category. And we had an overall 35 students participate in the tournament. So again, we're very proud of our migrant students and how they represent us in our community at the local level and state level. So congratulations again to our migrant team. I had the opportunity of attending a very special recognition. It was for an Eagle Scout recognition for one of our Boy Scouts, local Boy Scouts. Actually, it's Sebastian Martinez. He's a 12th grade student at Calexico High School. He was highlighted also in the Imperial Valley Press. So he received the prestigious Eagle Scout rank, which only 4% of all Boy Scouts achieve. I mean, this is entire nation. Not only that, the last time that a Boy Scout reached the Eagle Scout rank here in Calexico was 20 years ago. So as you can imagine, it's a very prestigious award. I was invited by the family. Actually, when I was a principal of Enrique Camarena Junior High School, Sebastian happened to be one of my students. And so when we look at the leadership and determination when it comes to Eagle Scout, this is definitely one of our very own that it shows tremendous leadership and is an incredible role model to all of our students. So I just want to give a shout out to Sebastian Martinez. Ms. Williams highlighted the FAFSA, and so the FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And so that one, I do want to thank the board because the board did approve that grant. It is part of the Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation. So what that has generated is for us to be able to move forward. The high school, the counseling team, the district team embraced it incredibly. And so it's one of the best, I'm going to say, application processes that our students have been through. When Ms. Williams mentioned 80%, that's incredible. That is, we're ranked now #1 in the state when it comes to submitting FAFSA applications. And I do want to highlight and mention one of our cabinet level administrators mentioned the excitement of one of our parents because you know, college is expensive, and sometimes when it comes to our students, they believe that they can't afford or go to college because of the finances. And so when they receive the award letters or scholarship letters that they qualify for financial aid and go to any university, it's an incredible feeling. And knowing that our students can move on and become successful is a great accomplishment. So kudos to Calexico High School for reaching the 80%, which is #1 at the state level. And I know that they'll reach the 90% next year. So again, thank you for that. Lastly, schools to watch for Enrique Camarena Junior High School. This is an incredibly big deal. Okay, it's a tremendous accomplishment by one of our schools, which is a schools to watch. Did have the opportunity to go to the state level along with Board President Castillo and with Elisa Ramirez, our Assistant Superintendent of Ed Services. And on behalf of the California Department of Education, they gave the board as a whole a certificate of recognition is presented to the Board of Trustees, Calexico Unified School District, by the California Department of Education in partnership with the California Middle Grades Alliance for leadership in providing policy, resources, and organizational support for fostering positive and productive middle grades learning environments for students and staff, and for an enduring commitment to academic excellence and continued achievement at the district's middle schools. State Superintendent of Public Education, Tony Thurman. So we will put this plaque up on display. So again, thank you, trustees, for all your support.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Continue with item K2, Measure V update.
Good evening, board members, community. My name is Cesar Vega. I'm your Assistant Superintendent of Business. Tonight we have a brief Measure B update, but before we do that, I would like to introduce to the board your project management team so that you know who is assisting us in our managing our projects and also our state aid funding. So I would like to call John Dominguez, Kim Deserts, and obviously you know Mr. Jimmy Sanders from Sanders Inc. And also we have Marty Hum, he is our legal counsel when it comes to Measure B. So this is your team. So moving forward, any Measure B update will be given by School Site Solutions, either Kim or Mr. John Dominguez. So you are welcome to ask any questions so that we may be able to answer. Okay? Go ahead.
Superintendent Gonzalez, board members, I'm pleased to be back in Calexico. My mother was born here about 87 years ago. So I wasn't around at the time, but I'm glad to be back here. We visited when I was a kid, coming back through here to go to Yuma, Arizona to see my grandpa. But yeah, so this is great. I want to also introduce Kim Desert. Kim has been the Director of Facilities over at El Centro for as long as my mother was living here, since 87 years. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, close to 40 years at El Centro. So I was able to convince her to come to work with School Site Solutions, and we're pleased to have her also. She has so much knowledge. Jimmy Sanders and I have been working together for about 20 years, being out here in the valley, coming out, working on other school districts and with other school districts. So thank you very much for bringing us on board. Appreciate it. A couple things that we want to talk about today is some of the projects that we're contracted to work on. One of them is your modernization, or your modular building project, your 16 and 12 classroom modular addition at the high school. We call that project A2 and A3. Letting you know that right now the plans are at the Division of the State Architect being reviewed. They're about 75% complete. You are under contract with Silver Creek Industries for the modular classroom manufacturer. And again, that project is scheduled to come out of DSA. We are looking at opening that and occupancy in August of 2020.
John, just clarify, August 2020?
2020.
2020. Both A2, A3?
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. The CTE Culinary Arts Building modernization is under construction. Let me back up for a second, pardon me. But we also have submitted your application to the California Department of Education School Facilities Planning Division for your plan approval on that project also. That's been sitting there waiting to get submitted. And so that has been submitted with the categorical exemption that was filed for the project. We prepared the exemption, and also the plan submittal. Jimmy Sanders' office submitted that project this week. The Culinary Arts Academy building, that also is under construction currently. I'm talking about the interim classrooms. So the interim classrooms, the portable classrooms have been placed. They're being fitted with all your mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Site work contract has also been let, so that's on its. That's going to be starting up probably next week. The site work will start next week once the electricians are off. In addition to that, we submitted the California Department of Education plans to that. for that project 2 weeks ago. It takes about four weeks for the full set of plans to be reviewed by the CDE, Department of Education. And then once that happens, this will kind of segue into the presentation or my discussion on your Office of Public School Construction applications. Because in order to apply for the Office of Public School Construction applications for funding, you have to have a CDE, California Department of Education plan approval, and you have to have DSA plans. This project, your Culinary Arts Academy, we do hopefully our final plan check and answering any questions DSA has on Monday. We're going to the DSA to meet with them on this project. And so hopefully we'll get sign off. Once we get sign off on those plans, then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we get the Department of Education plan approval. That goes to the Office of Public School Construction with the plan set and the DSA plans, and then we can get in line for OPSC. The thing I have to tell you about the Office of Public School Construction and the state program is going to be a while before we get funds out of that program, because they have been fully expended, and I want to make sure that the board understands that we can't tell you when the state is going to release money for that program again. So hopefully with the new governor in hand, we'll be able to convince the state allocation board to get moving on some of the funding for some of these projects that every school district in the state is waiting to get funded on. So essentially that's the update for the two projects that School Site Solutions is hired to help with in terms of getting your projects delivered. The other portion of this, I'm going to let Kim talk a little bit about some of the funding opportunities here and what the district is eligible for when they submit their applications for the modernization project in the Culinary Arts Academy. Question?
You said that the matching funds are exhausted,
That's correct.
so we're just gonna have to build and then wait to see if the state's gonna refund.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way the program works. You know, it's not supposed to work that way, but that's what is happening at the state level when you're looking at Prop 51. Okay? Yeah, Kim.
I'm going to step back for a minute on the interim housing. The buildings have come in, and the contractor for the off-site improvements, which are your ramps and your sidewalks, anything to access that, he started this last Monday, and hopefully he's going to try and finish it up before spring break so we can move those culinary art kids from their existing classroom into the portables, so when they come back they can be in there starting then. Okay, that's the plan. You always have to have a plan. So anyway, on the state funding, on the culinary arts renovation project, which is project B1, it would be eligible for modernization funding because it's renovating the existing building. Therefore, it's a 60-40 where the state gives you 60% and the district gives 40%, correct? Okay, and there may be up to $2 million in state funding for this $3.3 million project. So the final eligible project costs will change. We don't have those finals yet. That will depend on what comes out of the Department of Education along with the DSA, which is the division of the state architect. And then as John alluded to, project A2 and A3, that's 16 and 12 new modular buildings. Now those may be eligible for a combination of new construction and modernization funding because you're going to replace existing portable buildings with that, so you can go for multiple funding. Okay, and sometimes the state will sell so many bonds and they'll have so much in new construction, so much in modernization, so you just have to hope and pray that we're in line, and unless you get in line, you're never going to get the money.
Right.
Okay, so are there any questions about the funding?
No. You just gotta get in line.
Unless you get in line, you're never going to get to the top.
Well, we've been trying to get in line since 2016, and it's 2019.
Well, we're putting you in the line. That's our main project. Okay, thank you. No questions?
I do want to make a comment also. John is also going to help us with updating the master facilities plan. And that is going to be a key component moving forward in terms of our facility needs. So stay tuned, because there's a lot more work behind the scenes that we are doing. Every day there's something about facilities that we're trying to resolve or putting together or making sure that is in place. So, but the master facility plan will definitely help us moving forward into what are the real needs of the district when it comes to facilities. Okay. Okay, so now what we have, and if we can get PowerPoint or the PDF file on screen, we have a sample of a rendering that we want to do for the Measure V projects, and we want to show you their location and what those renderings look like. So I will let Jimmy Sanders take care of that.
I'd like to introduce one of my associates, Mr. Jesus Aguilera, and he's going to present tonight on those signs.
Well, what you have here is the Measure B project poster board locations and samples. Can you please do the next slide? The intent here is to place along the high school poster boards so that the community knows of what's happening and what will be coming soon for the high school. On phase one, which is next to the Wardfield parking lot, we have a poster board for phase A1, which will be this one. It's a 4x8 poster board showing depicting a location of the area of the proposed work and a small rendering of it. For phase two, we have two poster boards located next to No Name Field, right at that corner, and the poster board will look like this. Basically, that's the work intended to be for the phase A2 project, the 16 classroom modular buildings. It's the same size. It's a 4x8 size of the poster board. So the next one will be a phase B1, which is for your interim housing. That will be located right at the front of the high school. Modernization, I'm sorry. This is your project for the CTE Culinary Arts Facility. And lastly, we have the 12 classroom building project, which is, the intent is to have two poster boards located at the northwest side of the high school. I'm sorry, it's A3? A3. This is the 12 classroom building. Similar size. So the intent here is to let the community know of what's coming soon for the high school.
So thank you, Jesus. Again, the goal is to inform the community. Obviously, this is just a sample what those boards are going to look like, but we also want to update them to our website. Please know that I've been working with IT in making sure that we update our Measure V website. It's not live yet. We're still adding photos. We're still adding information to it. But that's also going to be a vehicle for us to communicate with the community. So anytime they have a question or we have an update, we can post it also there. But that is something that needs to happen, and I'm hoping to have those up in just a couple of weeks, would you say, give or take? So that is, in a nutshell, that's what we have in terms of Measure V. Are there any questions that we can answer from the board?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, team.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to item K3. This would be association comments. How about ACT?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Darla Dreesen, the Vice President of the Secondary Schools for ACT. James couldn't be here tonight. That's why you get me. The first paper that you see is what he had written, and then the resolution is the next part, and then some cases. Okay, so this is regarding Imagine School, the resolution. Last year, the Imagine Charter School in El Centro did not receive renewal of their charter. Teachers and parents spoke out against this for-profit charter school because of their documented failure in providing their students with an adequate education. Now, Imagine is applying for a county-wide charter to be bestowed to them by the trustees of the County Board of Education. This would allow them to not only open their old campus, but in the future would allow them to open schools across the county as long as they have approval from the county board. Our community has already spoken and prevailed in this issue surrounding the effective education of our students. We need to keep our students in our true public schools where they can receive an education from highly qualified teachers. Today, we ask our school board to consider adopting a resolution that takes a stand against the approval of a county-wide charter for Imagine. This resolution is also being proposed at other school districts across the valley in an attempt to make clear the fact that Imagine School is not a good fit in our community. Do you have any questions? I don't think I could probably answer some of them, but you can ask.
Questions by the board?
No.
Not at this time? No.
Okay. So then we get to hear my part. Once again, Mrs. Ramirez, we need to have qualified art teachers in our junior highs again. I know I keep harping at it, but I really, really believe that they need to be back there, someone who is qualified. And we've been working with young people to get them into that field so that we can have that again. And ideally in the elementaries as well. One of our concerns when we talk about Measure V is that we have one art room at the high school main campus that does not have water within the classroom. All the others do, and we really need to fix that situation. We also have some teachers who will need accommodations during the moves into the new buildings and assorted other classrooms. We're willing to work with whoever's in charge so that we can make sure that all accommodations for teachers are met. And then, I don't know if Cesar Chavez people are still here. None? What about Dual? Oh, they did? Okay, well then, I'd like to acknowledge the Kennedy Gardens teachers. Can you raise your hands? Yay! And that's it. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Dreesen. Comments from CSEA? Any comments? Oh, yes. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Belen Donato, Chapter President, Calexico 399. I want to inform you that we are preparing our surveys to have a proposal ready to start with negotiations. And I want to thank all the people involved on having the retro checks on time. And I also want to thank Esther Martinez and Mr. Price to giving in such a short notice a training for our classified. And we have pending the negotiations for a yearly calendar in our salary schedule and the contract that has to be printed for each member. And we're working very close with the district to have all the pendings resolved in a short period of time. Thank you so much for listening.
Good, thank you. Move on to item K4, ROP Committee.
Yes, good evening. A couple of things before we start. Congratulations to Ms. Armendariz and Mr. Felix for the recognition tonight. It only proves that this IVROP program works. This morning we had our last meeting at 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, so we've been up since. We had a presentation, and the reason I want to bring this up, they have IVROP has a project called Project Connect. This program serves disconnected youth ages 14 to 24 throughout the Imperial Valley. The IVROP staff are located in Calexico, America's Job Center. It serves 230 to 250 Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act eligible youths. It serves 20% in school and 80% out of school. So if you have a teenager out there that needs a job or something, this is a good program for them. It serves students. Students receive variety of workforces, academic, employability, and life skill support and services. Students receive skills and workshops, but most important, students also receive stipends when they complete the program. So that's very important. And it depends on what program you complete is how much money you get from these programs. And last but not least, also I'd like to invite everyone, we have a law enforcement competition that is taking place on April 17th, 2019. It will take place at the Calexico High School, where our kids that are in law enforcement will be competing against Brawley, El Centro, and Imperial schools. Again, we wish them best, and that's another program that we have instilled in our high school. And that's all I have for tonight.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Calderon. Next one, LCAP Committee.
Good evening. Just a quick update regarding our stakeholders meetings. We've already completed, with the help of my Ed Services team, we've done the 6 parent LCAP meetings for their input on our different goals. We also had 4 meetings for our ACT consultation and their input. We've completed meetings for our DLAC group and our migrant PAC. And we also held our administrators LCAP input back in February. This month, we did one day of CSEA. We met this week, and we will be completing our CSEA input for day 2 on April the 3rd. And then tomorrow, I get to visit the 9th grade campus and the main campus at Calexico High School to get some input from our students. And then the only ones that we will have pending will be our core committee meetings. And our core committee meetings is when we bring representation from all stakeholders. We have parents, students, teachers, CSEA, and administration. And so for those, that'll be the last 4. They will run anywhere from March all the way through May. And that's it.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Ramirez. All right. This time, moving on to item L. These will be our action items, consideration and action approval of the following items. Is that right? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Board reports. Mr. Sorcito Calderon?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being in our meeting tonight. We'd like to start by congratulating everybody, all the students that got the Student of the Month, and all the schools that are doing a good job in making sure that our students get here and attend our schools. So congratulations, and it's a team effort. I'm not gonna name anyone in particular because it's a team effort. Everybody participates in getting those kids to school. So congratulations, everybody. Also, I met and I had a long conversation with a group of parents from Duo, and I would like to see if we can do something about not entrance time, but where the kids are being dropped off and picked up. It seems to be a huge problem, especially when being dropped off in the morning and picked up in the afternoon. Unfortunately, that is a big street, circulated a lot. So I would like to see if we can see if we can do something about that. Not do something about it, but if you have a plan, for example, some people have suggested that maybe they should open the back gate and to pick in the afternoon for the kids to be picked up. So other people suggested, well, do something like we did at KG's. Yeah. So I mean, they're just brainstorming and bringing ideas to us. So, but you know, if people are talking about that, it's because it's a concern. And whenever they talk about a concern for safety, for the safety of the students, you know, it's something that we need to take a look at. So, Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Vega, if we can see what is it that we can do. And I attended the LCAP meetings last week and 2 weeks ago, and very well attended. A lot of questions. I saw a lot of the principals and with their kids and with their parents and their sites. I like what I saw. A lot of engagement, parents asking questions, translation for those parents that don't speak the language or they need translation services. So they were good presentations. So other than that, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Lorenzo Calderon?
I have no comments.
Thank you. Mr. Alvarado?
Just to echo, just want to congratulate all those that were presented today. The schools that was also presented with their awards, their accomplishments. And I also want to just recognize those kids that were out in the California Winter Fair. They were there for, I want to say, 10 days. And, I mean, they were really hustling out there. I just want to challenge the board for next year to see if we could come together, because I was out there trying to help out as much as possible, but it's very intensive. And what I see mean helping out, monetary. You know, because some of our kids, they barely get the bare minimum of whatever it is, and you know, this year it's some of our kids didn't even, I think it was one, if I'm not mistaken, didn't even make the auction. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Romero?
Thank you for coming. I want to congratulate Main School for the highest attendance, and our students and our staff that were recognized, plus the schools. They all work very hard, and we thank them. That's all.
Very good. And I'll just add, again, congratulations, as we've said, and ditto to everything. What I do appreciate really is what the students share with us here. We don't often get a chance to visit every campus. You know, it's impossible, I think, with our schedules. But to hear what's happening, their reports, you know, I do appreciate it. We do get emails or information, but not like the students share. So I appreciate that, and with the staff shares as well. And I also want to thank Janet for sharing, compiling news articles at events happening here in the district. This is helpful, you know, because, again, it's easy to miss an article in the newspaper of things happening here. So this is really nice. So thank you for that, keeping us informed. You know, there's a lot of good things happening in the district. We know that. Our schools are doing a great job. Staff's doing a great job. And one example I want to share that we experienced, you know, when we were at Schools to Watch Friday morning. Even before the event started, we had a lady from the CDE, for Schools to Watch. She came up to our table and brought another site administrator, because they had already heard about Calexico and some of the things happening here. So even before this event started, Calexico is already kind of out there. They're kind of hearing what good things are happening at our school sites. And we didn't even know who they were. But Calexico is kind of getting on the map with some of the activities. So it's good to hear again. And again, kudos to everything at the school sites, our staff, our students, and parents. The other piece I'll also share, same event. Again, we know we were doing good things because at that same event, we had another administrator approach us from Riverside County, vice principal, talking to us. He knew, well, he heard Calexico, so he came up to us. Turns out he was one of our students years ago. And he's now a school administrator. He's now at a first year, you know, Schools to Watch, school site. Again, having gone through the Calexico system, a student of Ms. Ramirez, a student of mine, it was good to see them again. You know, they don't look the same, but again, I think there's good things happening here, and our students, as our products, are doing good things here in California. So again, nice to see that. And I'll leave it at that. All right, now let's go on to item L. This would be our action items, consideration and action approval of the following items. Mr. Wilde, I had a question regarding one item. If there's a support of the board and without objection from the audience, can we move an item up?
Pardon me?
Could we move an item up?
Yes, it would be a motion, a second, to move the item.
Should there be no, we want the support of the board, but also, you know, considering the audience as well. And my thought here is, I can make a motion.
Yes.
Well-
And I presume it's item L19, and I would presume that everyone, there seems to be a lot of people here in the audience to address that, so there's a reason to move it up. And I don't know that anybody objects to you moving it up that's in the audience.
Any objections? I get in, hopefully everyone's here. That'd be my motion, should the board support that and approve that, to move item L19.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Mr. Castillo, second by Mr. Romero. Any other discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. That being said, we'll move on. Well, item L19, we'll address that now. And this is the resolution regarding the elimination of the classified employee position of maintenance and operations supervisor corresponding to layoff of classified employee. And we had comments that were submitted, and we'll continue with those, as we've said. Continue, Cesar Luna.
Good evening. My name is Cesar Luna. I'm a longtime resident of Calexico. My sons graduated from Calexico High. My nephews are enrolled in Calexico High. Beautiful presentations in regards to what's coming up here in the future of Calexico, the buildings, the constructions, everything that you are intending in doing. It's great, great stuff. And I'm very happy that you are looking at that. We had some people that came up earlier that made presentations in regards to this position that is going to be eliminated from Calexico High School District in regards to Chris De La Rosa. Being a longtime resident, I have seen Calexico grow greatly. One of the most important portions of it that I have seen, and I'm sure Calexicans have seen, and that is that the school district has come a long ways, not only to better themselves, but to better Calexico kids that are coming up. It is extremely important that we follow what we need to follow in regards to have this projects that you have going. But for that, you need personnel. Personnel that is qualified. Personnel that knows exactly how to go around in buildings and projects so that they can build to a situation where it's something good for the whole community. The people that talked this afternoon, mentioned about Chris's experience. And I agree with that. You can see it here. You can see it in the softball field that he had in construction at Rockwood. You can see the football field out here, the baseball field out here. And I'm sure that you all have to decide the projects that are available, that are going to continue, that are going to be built. But I'm sure Chris De La Rosa has something to do with this. He is the person that is going to lead. He is the person that is going to coordinate. He is the person that is going to get his employees to participate, to do their job. And that is very, very important. This position cannot be eliminated. It is extremely important for us, for Calexicos, the community. It is very, very important. I remember one day, Mr. Calderon and Mr. Alvarado stopped me out on the streets and told me, "Do you like the football field?" Mr. Calderon, and I answered, "Man, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful sight to see." Why then are we eliminating somebody that had so much to do with this and continue to do what he is supposed to be doing? Please do not eliminate this position. It is extremely important for the future of Calexico because you can see it. You can see it here. Don't go back to the 1970s, 1960s, 1980s. And you know the conditions that we had at that time. We cannot afford that. Please do not eliminate that position. You need Chris De La Rosa to continue with these beautiful projects that you have here. He is a top-notch employee of the Calexico School District. Please do not eliminate that position. You can find the resources. You can find the money from somewhere. Please do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Christopher Moreno. Is there Christopher Moreno?
Hello, good evening. I'm Christopher Moreno. I'm a fairly new employee. One of the current carpenters in M&O. I didn't really prepare a speech, so I'm just gonna speak out through my experience as an employee. So since I'm 27, fairly young, I come in here to something new when I first got hired. Never worked at a school before, but I have all these skills in construction that I wanted to bring over to help. I was scared and nervous for everything I did. I didn't know, I practically forgot how to work. And what I liked is that he made me feel comfortable knowing what I know, to try something new and to add my abilities to something I haven't done before. And now I know that I can do more things with my potential. He's helped me unlock my potential now. I'm building things, repairing things. I'm not just doing little stuff anymore. We're fixing your offices, we're remodeling all these things. And as soon as I got here, I noticed that I keep learning. And he's encouraged that all throughout my employment. I've been learning and I've been applying. Not only learning, I'm applying it. And I'm surprised to see that it's coming out of me. It's coming out of these employees. He does an excellent job of actually finding what we're good at, pairing us up, and we get the job done, and well, and everyone compliments us. And I don't understand why this position isn't needed. We need some guidance, we need some leadership. Not only someone who runs the show, but someone who's actually taking care of not only all the schools, but us. We're taking care of all the dangers. He's analyzing all that, and he's telling us, hey, this is what's happening. He's asking us what our opinion is based on our skills and what we do. And then he encourages us all to get together, and then we complete the project. He comes and he sees, he checks up. I see him every day there, looking, doing something. It's a busy job. I don't understand who can do their job and his job at the same time. I mean, I feel like a lot of us will be really lost trying to find a way to complete all these things if we don't have this proper guidance with us. And it's helped me reach more potential than I've had, and I'm not stopping there. But I need that kind of encouragement in order for me to keep building myself up to be this person that I'm now discovering. And I'm pretty sure it's been like that with a lot of these. I haven't stopped learning. That's what I love. And I love my job for it. And this week, as soon as I heard the news, it brought my morale real down. Honestly, it's the uncertainty. And I don't know what I'll do without a great leader to look up to like that, in order for me to say, hey, I gotta get up and do this, or this is new. You know what? I gotta push myself.
Mr. Moreno, you mind summarizing?
Yeah, no, I'm wrapping it up actually. But yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next speaker, Enrique Luquin.
Good evening. Been working with Chris for almost 4 years now. Currently the groundskeeper at the Calexico High School. So as the first gentleman spoke about the fields, that's a big community site. Everybody comes to watch the games, football games, baseball games, and a lot of the encouragement to keep these fields at their potential, at even higher potential, is because of Chris. He's out there pushing us. Hey, we need to do this. Hey, we need to do that. So we're making these fields, we're making Calexico look better, not only for us, for the people that come outside San Diego, Yuma, all these other cities and schools that come out to play against Calexico. So a lot of the encouragement that we get is from our leader, our supervisor, Chris De La Rosa. And I feel like one of our positions is a very looked at position. So he knows that everything has to look great. So now that he's done with this, then he jumps to the schools. Hey, how's your school look? Then he's at the school sites checking up on everybody. He's not only checking up on the groundskeepers, he's checking up on the custodians and making sure the schools are looking good. So it's a very big job. I started as a custodian, and I met Chris, and he really, like Chris before me said, he encouraged more. So we pushed ourselves. And a lot of people don't realize how much impact he's made in different people's lives. A lot of people here, almost majority of people here, he's made an impact and improved their abilities right here at MNO and at the different school sites. So I just want to hopefully maybe change the perspective on this decision. This position is a very important position. Like Chris said before, not two people could do it. There's so much behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. They don't see Chris out there at 5 or 6 in the morning with us working. They don't see that. Nobody sees that. Only we do. Nobody sees him at the school sites, rarely, you know. Some people do and some people don't. But he's there, and he's out there pushing us and making sure our schools look great and making sure our fields look great and making sure that that everything looks great and it's up to par and it's even beyond standards. You should look at the baseball field. It's never looked this great in years. We just finished redoing it, and that was because he pushed for us to redo it. And I just want to finish with just a reconsideration, because this is a decision that doesn't need, this shouldn't even be on the agenda. This is a position that's very important. I think this, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Manny Ocampo.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, staff, and members of the public. My name is Manny Ocampo. I'm an HVAC tech and a school bus driver for Calexico Unified. I'm here for the first time on this podium to speak on the agenda item L19, the elimination of M&O supervisor position. Just 4.5 years ago, our entire department was restructured. 2 supervisors, overseen by a single director, 1 supervisor for transportation and warehouse, 1 supervisor for operations and maintenance. It's also been 4.5 years of positive growth at the maintenance and operations department. Just visit any of our sites. For decades, our sites went unchanged. I mean, you drive around Calexico and every school site pretty much looked the same like it did when you were in school and your kids were not in the site, but it still looked the same. The maintenance and operations just focused in keeping the sites operational and functionable. And upgrades if you look, I'm sorry, I lost my place. Look at all the changes and upgrades at every site throughout our district for the past 4.5 years. Look around you, this room, in fact, this entire room, top to bottom, was refurbished. Carpet, walls, ceiling, lighting, everything. But this is just one example. You can go to any of our sites and you'll see examples of exactly this. Board of Trustees, for the past years, you've approved many resolutions and projects that have brought our school districts to what it is today. No one can dispute the fact that the district facilities have come a long way from what they were before this Board of Trustees came on board. That's a fact. But it's also a fact that Mr. De La Rosa, the man before you today, has been essential to you, to this district, and to this community. Successful completion of these facility projects are a team effort. You guys, you're the decision makers, but it's people who work here that do what you guys ask. Some of our highlights since you guys took over, we do have the best softball field in the entire county, undisputable. You go to our softball field, no one has a better one now. And it takes more than just your will to do these things. It takes work. It takes leadership. And he's part of that team. He's an essential part of that team. We've also have, obviously, renovate the entire football facility, top to bottom. I mean, undisputable. Look out there. I mean, it's been how many years before they touched those, the football field, the walkways, the concession stand, the stands. I mean, you can ask, probably your dad, and it looked the same as when you went to school to it, and it looked the same for my kids when they first started school. But now, thanks to everyone, it's changed.
Campo, can you kind of summarize?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me just skip then. Oh, Mr. De La Rosa is an asset to the M&O department in this district. Mr. De La Rosa's ethics and professionalism has kept the department nose clean and free from exposure to liability. Place a price tag on that. Asking Mr. Nielsen to provide the services that Mr. De La Rosa is currently providing to staff and the school sites is detrimental. Mr. Nielsen was hired to provide provide oversight to the transportation department and the maintenance and operations department, as well as a facilities planner, duties for the district. Mr. Nielsen and Mr. De La Rosa's background and expertise are completely different. A change to Mr. Nielsen's duties will not magically make him or give him the background and expertise that Mr. De La Rosa has. Asking Mr. Yes?
I want to thank you, but we do want to move on.
Yeah.
The 3 minutes did pass already, and I gave you a bit of extra time.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't keep track.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd like to call up the next speaker.
So I'll just close, and I ask that you vote no on this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Bravo? Maria Bravo.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and everyone in the audience. Ask yourself why. Why do you have this resolution before you today? There is no lack of funds as the resolution calls. You have a 9% reserve. There is no lack of work, obviously because Mr. De La Rosa oversees 26 maintenance employees at the Felipe Vega facility. There are 60 custodial and grounds workers at the school sites. This is an essential position. CSEA is not in support of this resolution. CSEA is against having its members have a loss in pay due to the elimination of this position because it will have a domino effect. Possibly someone may lose their benefits, others may go back to working the night shift. In the custodial field, members wait for an opening in order to promote from the night shift to the day shift. Others wait to promote and move up a career ladder in a supervisory or management position. You are taking away this opportunity. The M&O department has already lost one maintenance and operations supervisor. There used to be two, and one transportation supervisor. Not this board, but past board has already eliminated one of those positions. By eliminating this position, you're going to create havoc. This position oversees the day-to-day work of the maintenance, custodial, and ground staff across the district. With all due respect to Mr. Nielsen, he's not gonna stand a chance to oversee all of this work that Mr. De La Rosa performs. You are creating a system of failure for those that will stay behind, and that is true. Now, if we're going to restructure, let's say, hypothetically, Mr. Vega in the business department as Assistant Superintendent for Business Services. Let's say he comes here next month and he decides to eliminate the position of business manager and the one you're going to hire tonight, accounting supervisor. How will he be able to perform his job? He may try to do so, and he may ask you to trust him to do it, but he's not going to be able to do it. It's impossible, very unlikely. At one meeting with Mr. Vega, he told CSCA that when he changed the job title of the Director of Maintenance and Operations is because the director is supposed to oversee the work that his two supervisors perform, because those two supervisors have to supervise and oversee their staff in order for this to work. What happened? Why the change? It is nearly impossible for anyone or for you to expect the director to fulfill these duties. What's going to happen? Am I going to have, as a chief union job steward for Calexico Unified number 399, am I going to have my own office at M&O representing all the classified members because they're going to run into trouble? Is that what you want? I don't think so. Reconsider, table this item indefinitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Next speaker, Chris or Carlos Rivera.
Hello. I'd like to say that I'm a grounds worker, and I've been working here for the Jalisco Unified School District for a long time. And I'd like to say that the past supervisors, it was they didn't. There was a problem with them because they didn't show any respect. They treated us real bad. Chris De La Rosa is a completely different person. It's just like day and night, and I'm getting real nervous. And I'd like to say that I don't think they should put a price on somebody or a position that makes the school district, the system that we have with the workers, it runs real good with him. Like Luquin said, you don't see Chris in the mornings working with us. Like there's the past supervisor for grounds, he never came out of his office. And Chris is out there with us getting dirtier. You know, we're out there and he's helping us. He listens to us. He helps us. We got a problem, we go with Chris, and I mean, he's going to treat us nice. You know, he's going to treat us fine. He's going to help us. He's going to do everything that he can to help us do our work. And I think it's a mistake for you guys. And please, please think about it some more. And please do not eliminate the position of the supervisor, because I don't think you put a price on someone who can make this the workers work get along with everybody, make everything run real good, real smooth, And I think it's a mistake. Chris, like I said, Chris is a real nice person. You can always talk to him. He'll help you, and that's. I don't think you can put a price on it.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. Cesar Sanchez.
Good evening, trustees. I'm kind of nervous, bear with me. My name is Cesar Sanchez. I'm a skilled maintenance worker for MNO. I'm very upset with the possibility of elimination of my supervisor's position. This is a very important position and a very important employee that provides leadership, understanding, and guidance. My experience with Mr. De La Rosa has been great, and I have grown professionally under his supervision. He is fair with all the employees. He is there to support us when we are in a stressful situation. We cannot afford to eliminate this position or lose Mr. De La Rosa from our department. By eliminating this position, you're not only affecting Mr. De La Rosa, you're also affecting his family and the other district employees' families. So please vote no on the resolution, because as all the religions in the world say, don't do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Susana Rosa Tapia? Susana Tapia? Okay. And Gabriel Herrera. Go ahead.
Good evening. Good evening. Gabriel Herrera, skilled maintenance worker for maintenance and operation for 15 years. I'm here today to share with you my concerns. Tonight, you will be taking action on the elimination of a maintenance and operation supervisor, Chris De La Rosa. Eliminating this position limiting this crucial role will cause a tremendous impact on our department. By adding these current duties that Mr. La Rosa provides for this district to Director Jeremy Nielsen or Dario Espinosa will hurt our department. It will. It will. We are a department that takes pride on our accomplishments. We do. You could see it. That's our hard work that we provide for this district, for our community, for our families. I myself have kids in this district. For you guys to take action on this crucial role, it's something to truly, truly think about it. Take the time. Please take the time. Disrupting the fundamental role, such as a maintenance and operations supervisor, will impact our students, our staff, and our community. Also, by eliminating this position, this crucial role, us CSCA, will feel the impact, and it will, because the bumping rights will commence, and they're gonna start from top to bottom. And when all this is over, when all the bumping rights, one member it's gonna lose their employment. Layoffs should be the last and final resort. We cannot lay off our members. We provide a service for you guys. Please, please, take some time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera. All right, there are no more comments. All right, so we're talking about item L19. Any discussion by the board?
I move that we table this item.
There's a motion on the floor by
Second.
Mr.
May I
Oh, yes, sir.
ask for clarification?
Yes, sir.
One of the speakers, Maria Bravo, asked you to table this item indefinitely. Another speaker, the last speaker, ended with, please take some time. So if there's a motion to table and there's a desire to allow for the option to bring it back at another meeting, that should be included in the motion.
I add that to my motion.
Would you please restate it?
I move that we table this item for the evaluation to be brought back later at another meeting.
There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Romero.
Second.
There's a second by Mr. Alvarado. Any other discussion? We'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to table passes 5-0. Okay. Later date, correct. All right, we'll continue. Going on to our action items, which would have been L1. So we'll continue with this item, L1. This is an agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and the Avid Center for Implementation of the Avid Excel program for 2019-2020 for Enrique Camarena and William Moreno Junior High School.
I move we approve.
So motion by Mr. Romero. Second by Mr. Calderon Jr. Any discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. This would be item L3. Agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Jesus Huerta for professional development services and instructional support to expanded learning summer program.
I move we approve.
There's a motion by Mr. Romero,
Second.
second by Mr. Ciro Calderon. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Move on to the next item. This is the agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and San Diego Fire Rescue Departments for program management for the automatic external defibrillator, public access defibrillation program, San Diego Project Heartbeat.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Calderon Jr., a second by Mr. Alvarado. Any discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Next item, service agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and First Medic for automated external defibrillators.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Calderon, a second by Mr. Calderon Jr.
I just have one question on this. Do we have like an actual map or anything where this equipment are located?
At the sites, there
Yes.
is a location of where they're located, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Price, yes.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah, so that way staff or whoever's responding will know where to go. Okay, thanks.
Any other discussion? Okay, we'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Next item, agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and ICOE Calexico Academy School for Food Services for fiscal year 2019-2020.
And I have a question. Will this training be open to everyone in the school district?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Motion to approve.
There's a motion by Mr. Calderon Jr., second by Mr. Alvarado. Any other discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to next item, agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and the ICOE Alternative Education and Special Education for food services for fiscal year 2019-2020.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Calderon Jr.,
Second.
Second by Mr. Romero. Any other discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and the Heber School District, Elementary School District for the 2019-2020 Child and Adult Care Food Program.
Carlos,
No,
what's this?
you went
That's
to
it?
L7. It's
Oh, is it
L6.
I thought we did that one.
I thought we did
We did that one.
L6.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
We did.
Oh, my bad.
So again, to
Nice time for
clarify, this will be the next item here.
L7.
Agreement, I believe it was L7. This is the agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Heber Elementary School District for 1920 Child and Adult Food Care Program at Risk Supper Food Services.
Carlos, what's this?
So this is a renewal. We're providing already the services for the supper for
Oh,
Heber
okay.
Elementary School.
Just getting our money back.
Yeah.
I move to approve.
There's a motion by Mr. Calderon Jr., second by Mr. Alvarado. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Next item, agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Avid for all CUSD school sites to provide support and training for 2019 school year.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Calderon, second by Mr. Calderon Jr. Any questions? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Next item, this would be an agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Eric Hall and Associates to provide professional services for the California Emergency Management Agency and the Federal Emergency Management Agency closeouts.
Is there a cost on this?
Yes, it's a contract with Eric Hall and Associates, and it's to basically go back and try to get back some of the retention fee, which I think is at about $600,000.
Correct.
And because we don't have a contract with Eric Hall, we need to have one in order for them to provide the service to get this
So
money back
what's
to
the
the
contract?
district.
So it's a contract, let me take a couple of steps back. So back in 2010, after the earthquake, we were able to get some FEMA money. This is, in a way, the retention, what they held, which is up to $600,000. So FEMA has put a lot of pressure on CalEMA, the state agency, to close out these projects, whatever it is pending. So this is a not to exceed $15,000 for Eric Hall and Associates to finish up where they left off back in 2010. Back in 2010, you approved a contract for them to do this, but it's been expired.
Okay, so moved. Thank you.
There's a
Second.
motion by Mr. Calderon Jr., a second by Mr. Calderon. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Next item, this is articulation agreements between the Calexico Unified School District and Imperial Valley College for the Calexico High School Public Services Pathway.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Calderon, second by Mr. Calderon Jr. Questions? Call for it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Franklin Covey, client sales for the Leader in Me on-site site training at Jefferson Elementary School. A motion by Mr.
Second.
Alvarado, a second by Mr. Romero. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Next one is a memorandum of understanding between the Calexico Unified School District and the San Diego County Superintendent of Schools for the 2018 through 2023 to provide credential and program support services for the designated subjects, adult and career technical education credentials program.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Calderon Jr., second by Mr. Calderon. Discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Next item, this is a memorandum of understanding between the Calexico Unified School District and Benchmark Education Company for professional development for special education teachers, K through 6th grade.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Calderon Jr.
Second.
Second by Mr. Alvarado. Any questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Next item is an approval of a salary schedule leveling for the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services and Assistant Superintendent for Human Resource and Risk Management.
Move to approve.
The motion by Mr. Calderon,
Second.
second by Mr. Romero. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Next item, Fleet Service Specialist to retrofit and install transit air conditioning in the CUSD Student Bus Number 5.
Carlos, I thought all of the buses had AC.
This one doesn't, and so this is the one that we're retrofitting. I think it's at a cost of $33,870.
Okay.
I move to approve.
Second.
The motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Calderon Jr. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Next item. This is
Well,
a-
let me,
go
hold
ahead.
on before we go.
Yes.
We were supposed to get some buses replaced, correct? Have we
Correct.
already gone through that already?
We can check. Do you know that, Mr. Vega?
I don't know that as a fact if that happened, but I will definitely check and send a Friday update to the board.
Because we were supposed to turn in some.
Correct.
or-
If there was any application in the past for buses that were contingent upon destroying old ones to replace with new ones, that probably happened. I don't see any
Jeremy?
old buses.
Jeremy's not here?
No, he's stepped out.
Oh.
But let me look for that information and then I'll
Yeah,
get back
'cause
to the
why,
board.
why spend money on 30,000 or 32,000 in a bus when we're gonna possibly replace it?
Right, and we can check it out. This might be a bus that just is not being,
Correct.
one of the ones that's being traded in, I guess, and so, we
Yeah.
would need to retrofit it at that point, but we can double check.
We have to retrofit it before we turn it in?
No, no, if,
I was like,
if
okay.
it's not a
It won't be a
bus that we're
bus.
trading
Okay.
in, then we would need to retrofit
Alright.
it, yeah.
Okay.
All right, are we good? All right, let's continue. Next item is a rejection of claim Maria Arriaga versus Calexico Unified School District.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Alvarado, seconded by Mr. Calderon Jr. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Next item is a variable term waiver for certificated personnel, bilingual authorization, Spanish for the remainder of the 2018-2019 school year.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Calderon, seconded by Mr. Calderon Jr. Any discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Next item is an adoption of a job description, career and technical education facilitator. Is there any backup or discussion here?
Yeah.
Yes, there is backup. There's actually a job description that is there. We've been working with ACT on this particular job description now for a while. So we did meet with James Taylor. Elisa was present as well. And so this is one of the positions that's built into the LCAP, which the board has already approved. So we're bringing it now for board approval, having sat down with ACT and gone over all the duties of this particular job description. So now we're bringing it to the board for approval.
I move to approve.
Well, do have one question. Does El Centro have a facilitator?
I'm not sure, at least I'm not,
According to James, yes. He said that the other schools in the valley do have a coordinator. And whether or not it's full-time or part-time, I don't know. But he said yes.
Other questions? All right, I believe there was a motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Alvarado. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Next item is a resolution regarding the no, we did that one.
No.
That's already done, sorry.
20.
Resolution declaring April 2019 as Autism Month.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Romero. Was there anybody talking about this
That's
today?
in a resolution.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
No speaker? All right.
Yes or no?
Well, last year we had a speaker, last time, just checking.
no,
This is
not
a
this time.
resolution vote. I'll ask Mr. Cito
Yes.
Calderon?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarado?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Myself, yes. On to the next item, a resolution of the Board of Trustees of Calexico Unified School District making a determination to submit a waiver request to the California State Board of Education with respect to certain provisions of the California Education Code relating to the issuance of general obligation bonds and approving related documents and actions.
So move to approve.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Calderon. Any questions? This is a resolution. I'll ask Mr. Calderon,
Yes.
Mr. Calderon Jr.,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarado,
Yes.
Mr. Romero,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Moving on to the next item. This is a resolution regarding the disposition of surplus assets, non-asset medical equipment at Special Education Department.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Calderon Jr. Questions? Nope. All right, this is resolution. Mr. Calderon?
Yes.
Mr. Calderon Jr.?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarado?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Next, resolution regarding the disposition of asset, non-asset technology equipment at Calexico High School.
So moved.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Calderon Jr., second by Mr. Romero. Questions? This is a resolution. Mr. Calderon?
Yes.
Mr. Calderon Jr.?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarado?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Next resolution is regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology equipment at the district office IT department.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Calderon Jr., second by Mr. Alvarado.
I have a question,
Go
real
ahead.
quick. So, with this, equipment, IT department, we just sell it or throw it away or donate it?
No,
or-
we surplus it. Surplus it meaning that we just eliminate it. So we have a company that comes and picks it up
Okay.
for proper disposal.
Okay, all right, that's it.
Any other questions? This is a resolution. Mr. Calderon?
Yes.
Mr. Calderon Jr.?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarado?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Next resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology equipment at the, for the special education department.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Calderon Jr., second by Mr. Alvarado. Resolution, Mr. Calderon?
Yes.
Mr. Calderon Jr.?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarado?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Next resolution, authorizing assignment outside of major for the 2018-2019 school
So
year.
moved.
Motion by Mr. Calderon Jr.,
Second.
second by Mr. Romero. Any questions? Resolution vote, Mr. Calderon?
Yes.
Mr. Calderon Jr.?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarado?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
And myself, yes. And at this time, the board will reconvene into closed session, return to closed session, correct? Mr. Watt, anything?
Yes, the board will return to closed session and come back to announce, to continue the agenda and announce any action taken.
Thank you.